How can we use robots to help our frontline officers? How can we use MATA to protect them better?
Artificial intelligence, unlike traditional software engineering, you can come up with more complex rules and systems that mimic human behavior.
The COVID situation really accelerated the use of the C3 system.
Hello, doctor.
So the reason for this call today is to let you know that your COVID test results are negative. It's probably a common cold. Please let me know if you're not better, okay?
I will. Thank you, doctor. Super Dad is here! Ooh, yummy!
Super Dad, more like super hungry.
Looks like we have less food now since Dad is out.
Everything okay, son?
Yeah. What's that?
The Mata robot. I'm gonna build one day.
MATA stands for Multi-Purpose All-Terrain Autonomous Robot. In simplistic terms, you can say it's a CCTV on wheels, but it's more than that. Robotics is a potential technology that can help to elevate some of the routine and repetitive tasks. One example was patrolling and surveillance, where we see officers on the ground walking day in and day out. So we felt that robotics, MATA specific, was the way forward. Pre-pandemic, we deployed the MATA for key events such as National Day Parade, Chingay, ASEAN Summit. Back then, robotics technology wasn't that mature yet. So there was a lot of people saying, are you sure you want to go into this? Is it ready? Is it going to be a white elephant? But we put aside those doubts. We adopted technologies such as simultaneous localization and mapping, SLAM, obstacle detection and obstacle avoidance, which are critical components of building a robot. As time goes by, we see the fruits of our labor now. We deployed it at the quarantine facilities. It helped officers monitor the situation in the quarantine facilities without exposure to the virus itself. Frontline officers are most vulnerable in such situations, and all of them have families. We all have families. So that is where we as engineers have sort of a responsibility to see how we can apply technology to protect them. Now we're at a cross junction where there are a lot of emerging technology such as 5G, drones, Internet of Things, autonomous vehicles. All form part of the whole ecosystem. Robotics no longer functioning in silo as its own technology, but how it's able to interconnect and interoperate with all the rest of the such systems. Imagine Star Wars, C-3PO and R2-D2, they were talking with each other. Both are talking different languages, but they are able to understand each other. So that is something that we can foresee in the future.
What we did was look at how we could use technology to ensure the manpower to do temperature screening was optimized and people were safe while doing that. The temperature screening process was very manpower intensive. You required one person in front to tell people to remove their headgear, one person to actually look at the screen and identify if the person was feverish, and the third person to do a secondary temperature check. Vigilant Gantry was kind of our solution to try and make this process a bit more optimized in terms of manpower and also safer for everyone. You can think of Vigilant Gantry as a plug-and-play middleware layer. We allow thermal scanners to be connected to a physical gantry along with an actual normal camera which does a headgear check. And then we send a signal to the gantry or we show an image to the security officer or nurse who is on staff. We actually had to test the system and we bought hand warmers. We put them on our faces and we walked through the system. After a few iterations, we managed to fine-tune the system. We knew that inputs from the camera and the thermal scanner, we only needed maybe 1 to 2 seconds of it, rather than the previously we needed 10 seconds of it. This allowed us to ensure that even in places that receive a lot of traffic, visitors can have a very seamless experience walking through the gantry. Science and tech, there's always the potential to optimize and make things more efficient.
Feeling better?
Yeah. I've been reading up on all the tech involved to combat COVID.
You know, it's normal for things to be uncertain, even scary. That's where you have to step back and look at the big picture.
Thank you, teacher.
C3 in a healthcare setting is first of its kind. We have no reference when we started the idea. C3 stands for Command, Control and Communication Systems. So it's actually a system and a project that all along been planned as part of Tan Tock Seng's command center rollout in terms of supporting their day-to-day operations. The C3 systems anticipated and mobilized personnel and resources within 24 hours when the patient influx increased by 3 times. All these just from data pulled, CCTV footage, real-time location sensors from C3. This helps in improving overall the patient experience. Because of the evolving COVID situation, there are new parameters now injected into the equation. There were additional 50 widgets and about 600 over indicators being born out of COVID. We have video analytics being put into the equation to be able to allow us to monitor the crowd through visual. And then they have connection to the social media to try to preempt whether is there some chatter going on. So they are pulling information from multiple sources. I think health tech is really where we are making a difference. I know that someone at the end of the line benefits from this.
COVID showed how resilient and adaptable people can be using these tools and integrating them into their personal lives.
How to solve a problem is up to the individual. Engineers can now innovate. How can we bring different technologies together to solve a problem?
How do you envision this product will be used?
To really build a solution, make it better along the way.
The boundary is really limitless.
It's going to take a long process, but it's going to be an enjoyable one.
What is the use of science and tech if it doesn't serve humanity, if it doesn't serve the needs of society?
If we didn't do this, who would do, right?